Hey Divi Nation, welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And today in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use Divi's text and list option designs to create some unique toggle and accordion content designs. So don't forget to check out the video description for more information on this use case live stream. And without wasting any time, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, so welcome everyone. Just make sure that you let me know if I'm coming in loud and clear for you guys. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, let me know where you're coming from. Introduce yourself, and always feel free to ask any questions as we go along with this use case live stream together. Hello, Dean. Nice to see you here today. All right, got a thumbs up. Very good. Looking good on YouTube. Hopefully I'm coming in pretty well in Facebook as well. All right, that looks good. As you can see on my screen right now, this is a little preview of what we're going to be building today. As you know, if you've been using Divi for a while, or if you're just new to Divi, if you ever wanted to create some toggles or accordions, you know that you're fairly limited as to what content you want to put in your toggle or accordion, because it's really made for initially just simple text displays. But in this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how you can get creative with those text and list style options that are built in now to every module, including toggles and accordions. And it allows you to do some creative things like this, which this is actually an HTML list using the numbering for an ordered list here, and some different text elements. And this is all done using the built-in design settings of Divi. So it's a pretty cool option. These are, of course, toggles here up here at the top. And if this would be helpful for showcasing some kind of process, or highlighting some steps, or even just a creative way to add a number design to each of your blurbs, or whatever it is you want to showcase within a toggle or accordion. This is my toggles here, and if I scroll down, you'll see this is the same design here in an accordion. Of course, you can do the same type of design elements using the list and text style options. And here I've gotten a little bit more creative, showing you how to, of course, add backgrounds and add actually multiple columns of content within your toggle. And there's a simple way to do this in the HTML, and I'll show you how to do that. Of course, I'm using a lot of different text elements, like here would be an ordered list. Here's an unordered list. And this link here is, of course, a link text style here. And all that can be controlled using Divi's built-in settings. And so that's that example. And here's one with a background image, 2-column layout. And here's another one. It's a whole lot you can do with this design, playing around with the different list styles, and which is in large part hidden to a lot of people. They aren't really aware that these list styles exist and how much you can do with them. So I thought it would be cool to introduce this to some of you who don't know about them, and show you some really creative options you can use with these list styles. All right. Very good. Let's see. Let's get started. Really, first of all, if you're just joining us, I do want to welcome you to this week's Divi use case live stream. And each week we show you how to add some new design and functionality to your website. And today I'm showing you how to add or create different toggle and accordion content designs using Divi's list style options and text style options that are built into the modules. All right, so let's get started. The really only thing you need to get started is Divi. We're going to be using all the built-in settings of Divi. If you want to add a background image to these toggles, when we get to that point, you will need, a couple of background images to use in your design. But other than that, we're just going to be using Divi. And we're going to get started by creating a new page. So we're going to be adding a new page, and I'm going to be building on the front end. So make sure you choose to use Divi on the front end if you're following along here. And as you can see, I've got my regular section ready to go, and I'm going to add a 1-column row to my section here. And before I go adding any of my modules, I'm going to exit out of that, and I'm going to update the settings of my row here. So I'm going to go over to my design settings, and I'm going to go under sizing, and I'm going to use a custom gutter width of 2. If you aren't familiar with what gutter width does, that's basically the margin in between your columns of content. So I want to make it a little closer together. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to already, let's see, back out, and I made a mistake. I'm going to make this 3 columns. Sorry, the first example is 3 columns, not 1. So I'm going to go change my layout to 3 columns. All right, no harm done there. Now we can go back. I still need my sizing, my custom gutter width to be 2, so I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to increase my width to 100%, and I'm going to give a max width of 90 VW, which is roughly 90% of the viewport width. All right. And let's see. Let's go ahead and add a toggle module to our first row here. So I'm going to go to my first, column, add a toggle module. And we're going to update the content here. I'll leave the title as your title goes here. That's fine. But here is where we want to add our HTML. Let me make sure you can see it. This is where we're going to want to add our HTML inside our body content for our toggle. Now, if you aren't familiar with HTML lists, they're really easy to make. In fact, you can actually go over to the visual tab and make a list there if you want, using the bullet list option and the numbered list. So that's what we're going to be referring to. A bullet list is basically an unordered list. So that's going to be designated with a tag of UL, unordered list. And then the numbered list is designated as an ordered list, which is OL. So you'll see those differences here as we go along. So I'm going to, for sake of time, just copy the code that I have already. And if you want to find this code, you can find it actually on the blog post that went out today that goes along with this use case. And make sure, though, when you paste in the HTML or add your HTML, you're operating in the text tab here, not the visual, because that will not work. So I'm going to paste in my code here. And I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can, increase. Well, I'll have to do it from this angle. Let me see if I can increase it for you. All right. So here's my code here, and you can see that the top portion here, let me go ahead and open up my toggle as well. You can see both of them here. So my ordered list, and you can see I have this little start attribute here, and that isn't necessary because every ordered list starts with the number 1. And so, but I added it there because we are going to need it for our next modules when we add it to a different column. So this just basically tells the list what number you want to start the ordered, the numbering at which point. So if I started it at 2, of course, the numbering of the list would start at 2 and continue to 2, 3, 4, etc. And I don't know if you can see it here, but you can see the 1 here is kind of being overlapped by the unordered list item. So we have some nested list items here. So this is my ordered list, and this is the closing tag of my ordered list. And then inside my ordered list is an ordered list item that has an unordered list, which is the UL. That would be the bullet list, if you will. So that is the reason why we're doing this here is because it really it's kind of a convenient way to give you more design options for different text styles in the toggle. So this is a margin, and I'll show you what I mean in a bit, but you can see my UL list, my unordered list, my bullet list has an inline styling here of a margin, top margin of -1.5 EM, which basically brings it up to overlap my my number. And that's strictly a design thing that I added, which will give you the result that we're going for here. As you can see, my list, this would be my unordered list item, which is now overlapping my ordered list item number, which is 1. So that's why that margin, the top margin's in there. All right, so I have 3 different kind of text types of text here. I have my ordered list item, which shows up as a number 1, an unordered list item, which is a bullet, and all of the text within that bullet list. And then I have a P tag, which is a standard paragraph tag. And so those 3, all 3 of those can be styled within the design settings under your text, my body text area here, a list of options. As you can see, here would be my body text, paragraph text, or P tag styles here on the first column. And then over here, I have the unordered list styles, or bullet list styles. That would be my UL tag content. And then my ordered list styles in this tab as well. And we're not using the block quote styles in this tutorial, but we will be using the link in a little bit. So those are the 3, the paragraph, bullet, and ordered list styles. And since we have all of those active, we can use all of these built-in settings to style those text styles however we want. So that's kind of the main idea behind this design here. Getting creative by taking advantage of the list styles in Divi. And so this is my HTML. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll keep it nice and enlarged here, my screen, so we can see things a little bit better. All right. Let's see, the first thing, let's go ahead and tackle the icon of my toggle. So this we're not getting to the list styles just yet. Let's go to my icon here, and I'm going to give it a nice kind of bright pink design here we're going for. There you go. And let's go ahead and do my icon font size of, let's do 26 pixels. Let's go to my toggle settings here, And for my open toggle background color, we're going to keep it white. I'm sorry, we're going to make it, I'm sorry, not my background color. Wrong one. Yes, that was the right one. Sorry. Even I get confused with all of the options we have sometimes. Very helpful though. Okay, toggle. Yes, open toggle background color is going to be white, and also the closed toggle background color is going to be white because I want to keep them the same. And then for my title text, my open title text color, when the toggle's open, I want it to be a dark gray. So I'll make it dark gray. And the same for when it's actually closed as well. So I'm just keeping the color of my title consistent as we open and close the toggle there. And then let's go to the title font. And I'm going to use Oswald. Oswald kind of stays pretty narrow. It's a pretty narrow font, so you can fit a lot of content on one line, which is why I like to use it here. Let's go ahead and choose the text size. Let's make it 20, actually 18. And here's a little secret. Whenever you're clicking on toggles, this is actually a good way to make it more mobile friendly. And it's just to increase the line height, because actually on the live site, when you hover over this title, that or this kind of content area here, when you click on that area is when the toggle is deployed. So if you want to increase that that area, you can just increase the line height a bit. And you can see that kind of hover area or clickable area has now grown considerably, which makes it a better kind of user experience. There's just a little tip there. Let's go to our list styles now. So I'm going to go back down, go to my body text again, and let's go to my list style, unordered list styles first. And let's go ahead and make the, let's make the text Oswald, the font style there. And we're going to make it a light font weight. And you can see that it's changing the unordered list style, even though it's kind of nested in my ordered list. So as you'll notice, if I would have started to design my ordered list first, it would have, the unordered list would have adopted the ordered list styling as well. So you can override those though as you go on. So just a little tip there in case you were wondering. So the unordered list text style color, let's make it that dark gray there again. Let's increase the list style text size to 36. All right, and I don't actually want my bullet for this design, so I'm just going to take it out. As you can see, these are my unordered list style type options. I can make a circle, square. This actually opens up some, new design options for you as well whenever you are looking at this on your own time. But I'm going to choose none because I just want the basic or the ability to design the actual text, not the bullet itself. So, all right. So here's a little tip here. The unordered list item indent. If you want to, make it indent all the way to the left, you can do so by updating the indent here. All right. All right. I do think I have some spacing, letter spacing, um, strictly you know, design element there. But if you wanted to give it some, you know, for a design effect, give it some spacing there. I'm gonna leave that as it is, and then that takes care of my unordered list. Now let's go to my ordered list. And I actually have no text on my ordered list. It's really just that number that's being hidden right now because of the margin. But as I style it and enlarge it, you'll see it kind of come to life here. So let's do a Cameron font there. And let's make it bold. And I'm going to use the same pink color, except I'm just going to kind of bring it down a bit for my now ordered list text color. And then let's go ahead and make it a 100 pixel. You can see, there we go. You can see it very well now. And let's go ahead and make our ordered list. Let's do a line height of 1.1. And there you go. It kind of takes care of our initial design there. But you can actually add any ordered list style type. And this is where things get really interesting, because you have a lot of options to choose from that you may not even have known existed. For example, you can choose a lower alpha, and that would organize it by letters, you know, lowercase a, b, c, etc. You can do a lower Greek letter if you want, and there's a number of different languages here you can choose. Lower Roman, which is one option you can use. I like the, let's see, the decimal leading 0, which is cool. Every number, if it's a single digit, it's going to lead with 0. And that's the one I've chosen to use for this design, so I'll keep that one there. All right. And let's go ahead and I'm going to keep that design for the most part. I could, if I wanted to, jump over to my paragraph text and, you know, give it a matching, you know, font if you wanted to. Make it regular, whatever it is. But let's go ahead and save this out. I'm gonna have to take my zoom down a bit. Let's go ahead and save it. And let's check out the result here so far. All right, there you go. So you can see a pretty cool use of list styles to give you a unique design for your toggles there. And of course, if I wanted to, you know, create, you know, another one with the list starting at the number 2, all I would need to do is, you know, copy this module, paste it in my second column here. And let's go ahead and update this number, the start number, make sure you can see it. The start number to have the number 2 instead of 1. And as you can see, it will magically change that ordered list style number to 2. Save that out. Let's go ahead and paste in another one. Let's open it up so you can see it. And let's change it to 3 instead of 2. And there you go. And you can continue that process however you need. That takes care of my toggles there. If you wanted to, let's go ahead and, you know, using an accordion. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but it's really simple. The process, if you wanted to add an accordion to do this, you would just of course, add an accordion to your one column row here. Let me go ahead and shrink this up a bit. Make this full screen. Okay, and let's go ahead and, delete this one because I want to, design this first one how I want first. So I'm going to open up my accordion design here. Actually, I'm going to save that out because what I really want to do is copy the toggle settings. Let's say we want to copy the toggle settings for this first one and basically paste them into our accordion as we need. That would be a good way to do it without having to recreate the design over and over. But essentially what you're doing is the same exact thing in the accordion. You're just going in there and styling that HTML. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna first, all right, let's exit out again. Let's go to my toggle settings. Let's go ahead and copy the HTML here. And then let's go paste it into the first accordion. There you go. And then you would go save that out, open up the toggle, one of your already designed toggles. And we're going to do it this way, actually. We're going to go to the, let's say we want to, bring that icon to our toggle. That design. Well, we can do it by extending it. So I'm just going to right click on my icon category here, and I'm going to click extend icon styles to all accordions on this page and click extend. And since my accordion doesn't have another one, let's go ahead and make another one here. Now you can, my face is hiding it, but let's go ahead and show you. There it is. You can see those pink icons have been added. All right. Now I've resized this, so I want to make sure that I reset everything. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and continue this process. For example, I could extend the text, the main one, or excuse me, body text styles is the main one I want to extend here to all of my accordions on this page. Extend it. It's thinking. Hopefully I didn't break it. And there you go. See, the design has been carried over to my toggle. And that's basically how you would do that. There's a few more design settings that I would need to do, but just to show you that this kind of setup works in a toggle and an accordion. Actually works in any module. But since these are similar, I thought I'd show you how to do both. And let's see, we should have time for one more example here, kind of using this multi-column setup. And just to kind of remind you what that looks like, scroll down. Here is a multi-column setup here. It's actually really easy to do. I'll show you how to do it in a second. But I do want to welcome you if you're just joining us or you're kind of confused what's going on. I want to welcome you to this week's Divi Use Case live stream. Each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi website. And in this tutorial, in this live stream, I'm showing you how to use Divi's text and list style options for some unique toggle and accordion content designs. And don't forget to check out the video description for a link to the blog post for this use case. And if you don't have the Divi theme yet, don't forget to check out our link in the video description there. to our product page to check out more about Divi. And let's go ahead and get back to it. One more thing, we're gonna tackle this design and then we'll be done. Let me go ahead and make sure we have don't have any questions. Let's see. Okay, James has a good question. When will we be able to watch this from the beginning? No worries. This whole video will be added to the actual blog post and will be available in that blog post either later today or tomorrow, very soon. So be sure and check that out. And that's this one here, how to use Divi's text and list style options for unique toggle and accordion content designs. And so just kind of go to our blog page, elegantthemes.com/blog, and make sure and check that out. All right. I'm going to get rid of my zoom there. Any other questions? All right, looking good. Hi, Mike. And let's see. All right, last wave, guys. Let's go with, we're going to do another toggle module. So let's go ahead and go back to my Divi builder here, visual builder. And I'm gonna use some new HTML elements here, but I'm gonna add a new row. It's gonna be a 1-column row. And I'm gonna drag it up to the top so we can see it. And I'm actually gonna give it some spacing just because I wanna get, it's kind of confusing to know what design we're looking at. So this is not part of the tutorial. This is just to help you guys see things a bit better. So I'm just going to add some bottom margin to my row here to get rid of the stuff. Just get it out the way without having to delete it. All right, so I'm going to, this is my 1-column row in a regular section. And I'm going to add a toggle module. Let's see, should we... Yeah, let's go ahead and copy one of our existing ones here. So I'm going to copy this toggle module and paste it here. That'll give us a head start on the design. All right, and let's go ahead and get us some new HTML. And this HTML, again, is in the blog post, but it's going to have an additional text element, which is a link in it as well. So it's a bit different. And you can see just by pasting it in, it's already doing a lot already. And let me see if I can zoom in just a bit to show you what that looks like. Okay. So this is my HTML. This is actually an ordered list, just like we had before, but you'll notice that instead of having the, column count starting at 1, or I'm sorry, the list count starting at 1 like we did in the previous example, this is actually doing something different. It's using an inline style, CSS property called column count, and this basically tells your whatever content is in this tag is just going to organize it into 2 columns. So basically it's just going to kind of bleed into the next column, and you can do any number of columns that you want. This is actually helpful if you want to make kind of like a newspaper type layout where you have 2 columns of text that kind of go extend over into the next column. Things like that. But here we're using it at the list item level here. And so here's your ordered list. So I know it's going to be numbering. So that's going to be my ordered list, which is here, my pink number here. And then I have a list item, and this list item is for my ordered list. Just to kind of show you, if I wanted to add content here, like here, it would inherit that at the list, at the ordered list level for that list item. But actually, I'm having a nested unordered list within my ordered list, just like we did in the previous example, except right under this text here, this list item text, this lorem ipsum, I have a link, and this link has the A tag. That's how you know it's a link, and it's going to have this learn more text here. Now, this link can be styled with the body text, as I mentioned earlier, under the link tab here. So that's why we're introducing it here. It's a good way to, style your links with different styles within a toggle, which is very helpful. All right, so what I have here is a number of list items, ordered list items, with a nested unordered list with a link as well. And so what I'm doing is I'm just keep repeating that. Here's my next one. That's this one here. And because I have 4, and I have kind of an equal amount of content within each of my ordered list items, it's going to kind of overflow nicely into the other column. So because I've designated it as column count 2, that's what's happening. If I were to say column count 3 in my HTML, it would do something like this, which, as you can see, isn't really looking good because I don't have, like I would need, let's say, 6 of these for it to kind of look the right way. All right, so let's go back to 2. All right, make sure you can see shrink that up a bit. All right, so there's my HTML. Of course, you can get it in the blog post. Let's go ahead and style these a bit. Let's go ahead and go to my link. That's the main thing I want to style here is my link. So I'm gonna go to my body text, go to my link settings, and let's go, it's actually inheriting the Oswald, I believe, text style from one of the list items because it's nested in there. It's going to inherit that link font. I'm sorry, that list font. So I don't really need to update the link if I want to keep it the same, but if I want to change it to something else, I could do it. Let's give it a different weight. I'm going to make it semi-bold, and I'm going to give it a different text size. Let's go with 15, and let's make it a brighter pink color there. Let's go to my link text color. There you go. And to make it more link-like, let's go ahead and make it underlined. There you go. That basically takes care of that. Maybe we want to brighten up our ordered list numbers there. Let's go over to our ordered list, wherever it is. There it is. And let's go ahead and update that color, bring it up to a darker pink there. That's looking nice. And let's go ahead and add our background to our toggle here. Scroll down to my background. And we can add a background image if you want. I'm just going to simply add a gradient. And since I have 2 columns here, I'm actually going to add a gradient that kind of, splits up those columns a bit, or so that you can see those columns a bit better. So I'm going to give my gradient left color there, which is kind of like a light version. of white. And I'm going to have to add a background color here just to show you. Okay, my second gradient color. There you go. And I want to have my background color above my background image. And actually, you know what? It's not going to work with this background color. So I'm just going to have to add an image for this one. And let's go ahead and add, let's see, you can add any image, of course. I liked this one for this design. Let's see, this one might work. Let's just use that one. There you go. And let's go ahead and make sure our gradient, yes, is above the background. And the start position is, I'm sorry, the gradient direction needs to change to 90 degrees. So it's kind of like straight up and down. Start position, I want it to be 50 because I want it to be 50%. And I don't want to see any of the actual fading of the gradient. So I'm going to take it down. There we go. Now we have a sharp contrast between the two columns. Very subtle, but it does kind of show the two column layout a bit. And let's go ahead and save it out. And I didn't take the time to go through all of the different, responsive, design options you can use for this particular design. I've included that in the blog post. So go ahead and check that out if you want a more responsive version of this. But I do want to show you kind of how it will look on mobile as is. Let's go ahead and refresh. So there you go. This is kind of the functionality. Looks pretty cool. And of course, this will, let me bring it back up. See what this looks like as we shrink our browser. As you can see, we'll need to update the text size a bit to make sure those two columns don't get squished up on mobile too much. But in the blog post, I show you, the final design, how it will look on mobile. I'll just show that to you. It's going to look more along those lines. So it will look nice and clean. And of course, in the blog post, I also have a download where you can download those designs in a layout already pre-made. If you want to test those out, feel free to do that as well. Let me go over and check out and see if I have any questions. All right. All right, so let's see. I have one question. How can I customize my blog view? Yaroslav, I believe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but your name. But thanks for the question. But I'm not really sure what you mean. Could you clarify? How can I customize my blog view? I'm assuming you're meaning your blog page, maybe, or using the blog module. I'm not sure. Probably not something I can cover in detail in this live stream tutorial, but maybe someone here can reach out and help him out a little in the chat. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so if there's no more questions, I think we can go ahead and wrap things up here. Hope that you did learn a few things at least. Maybe find a few inspirational items where you can take along with you. Just a reminder, all of these list styles, link styles, paragraph styles, they're available within all of the modules. So in one of our recent updates, I think was maybe a month or two ago, we added that. So make sure you check it out if you haven't noticed. All right. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Please be sure to subscribe to our blog newsletter, our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook. That way you don't miss out on any future live streams or freebies we'll be throwing at you. And we'll be back here next Tuesday for another Divi use case live stream. So please be looking forward to that. And our next live stream is actually this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that would be the WP Roundup, the weekly WP Roundup. And so please check that out. And if you do want to share your own knowledge, skills, and expertise with our community, with the Divi Nation on our Elegant Themes blog, please check out the video description for a link on how you can share your own unique content with us. So please check that out. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you soon.